Hello, guys. This is Cleo. This is the third interview I'm going to give to my audience and my million subscribers. So I have right here, HoS Luke. Hey, Luke.
What's up? How's it going?
Not much. How are you?
Pretty good. Yeah, just enjoying Prospect Park.
So, Rome Total War, right? You are one of the best players in Rome Total War, obviously, but it's like a question I like to ask to people. Do you like ancient Greek and Roman history? That's why you play the game, or it was just like random? For example, Bubo thinks he's Alexander the Great every game he plays.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Well, initially, I definitely liked ancient Greek and Roman history quite a bit.
Mhm.
Um, Hamilcar and I went to the same elementary school, and we used to get into arguments about, certain events in the Punic Wars and shit like that. Um, so when we were in like fifth grade, uh, I think I bought the game, and then we've been hooked ever since. But honestly, now I don't see it as any kind of like historical anything. I just see it as like little bugs running around. Um,
So it could be any
so I would
game.
say I don't really
It's
care anymore.
completely lucky, pure luck, let's say, that you are playing this game for years. It could be any game
Um,
with the
well, I
mechanics
like the
that
game
Rome
because
has.
it's so strategic,
Okay.
and I like the pace, and I like everything about it. Really,
Okay,
just
you are a well-established Rome Total War player. But I don't know specifically about CWB since I don't play these rules that often. Can you tell us the highlight of your career so far?
probably winning the Cup of Nations twice. I guess.
Yeah.
Um, I fucking hate that tournament. It's best of one, and like the factions are given out in the lottery. But
Yes.
I made it like a personal goal to win the Cup of Nations, and I kept failing because of like random luck factors, and also, I mean, for a long time I wasn't like near the top or anything. But I finally did it. Both times I did it with barbarian factions, which is somewhat of a rarity.
True.
Um, so yeah, I would say that was the highlight.
But besides Cup of Nations, you have also won some tournaments. So if you want to talk like for some of them, because I don't know, I'm sure you have won a lot of tournaments. If you want to, advertise yourself a bit.
Oh, okay. I won't say no. Um, I won the yesterday live flash tournament series. Um, I think it was like the sixth edition of that, and then I won the Roma Victor tournament. Not sure which one of those it was, but I got one of those. Um, pretty much every tournament that there is that repeats, I've
Okay,
won.
yeah, I see. So you started in RV Clan, right? If I remember
Um,
correctly.
well, I played for a little bit when I was like 12 or 13, and I was in COH.
Wow, really? I
Um,
didn't know that. Interesting.
yeah, yeah, I was really young and really stupid, and I faked into SOA while I was in COH, and
Under
then I
which
got
name
found
you
out by
played in
Saint.
COH?
Pardon me.
Under which name you played in COH?
I think it's kind of ironic, but I think I played under the name Hamilcar.
Oh, really? Okay. And then Sent found out and you joined RV after?
Well, yeah, Saint and Pallid, who was in SOA at the time.
Is it true that
Basically,
Pallid was Mussolini's dog?
uh, yeah, Mussolini and Saint. He was kind of like a lesser skill version of them. Um, yeah.
Okay.
Um, basically, they cross-referenced like my birthdays on my accounts on two forms because I was like, again, I was like 12 or 13. I was really stupid. So that's how I got caught. And
Okay.
I took like 2 years off the game. I came back in like 2014 after that.
Hmm. When you started playing 31K, like in 2015, 14.
Uh, I mean, I played like individual games of 31K probably in 2015, but like they were sort of a novelty, like the way you might like play an FFA or something. Um, I didn't start playing 31K like regularly until like the end of 2016 or maybe the beginning of 2017.
Okay. So far, you left HOS for at some point and you joined Titans. Is that right?
Yes.
Does that have to do anything with individuals that joined the HOS clan and you said, okay, I'm not going to be in the same clan with those guys, I'm going to go to another clan? And since I play, I think though, maybe it's not that reason, you were playing 31K more regularly, so maybe you thought you could join a pure 31K clan?
Yeah, what happened was basically all the members of HOS went inactive. You know, Zeke and Nadintu are really the only people I actually like who are like top members of the clan. There were some other like lower ranked members who I like as well, but uh, once Nadintu and Zeke went inactive, I really had no reason to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't particularly like Maja at the time. He doesn't like me that much either. But I think we're cool now.
He's a good
Uh,
player, although he's a top shelf player for me, at least in CWB.
oh yeah, for sure, no doubt. Yeah, excellent player. Uh, I would say I just wanted to join Titans to familiarize myself with 31K because Earth had hosted some tournament for 31K, and I thought, you know, it'd be really nice to win it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I started grinding 31K really hard, but I only had like 2 months to prepare for my first like tough match, which was Sparky, and it was a good series, but I got my ass whooped,
Mm-hmm.
and I stayed in Titans for a while, but I don't really cohere to their style of play that much.
Okay, you talked about leaving HOS because Sent and Nidintu went inactive, but I have the feeling that HOS it's not how do you say that, a family based clan. Like for example, there are lots of time who members of this specific clan talk shit for another members. It's not like team based clan. I think it's more about one versus one skills, about who is better, and this comes I think you'll tell me with the mentality of CWB players, like prove who is better in 1v1s, uh, too much ego. Do you agree, or you think, or do you have a way different opinion than the one I'm expressing right now?
No, you hit the nail right on the head. The only thing that HOS members have in common is that they're all like arrogant as fuck. There's really no like there were practically no friendships in the clan. The only ones were like Nidintu and I were friends, and
Mm-hmm.
Saint and Zeke were friends, and I guess I'm sort of friends with Zeke, but that's pretty much it. Everybody else was either like neutral towards each other or actively disliked each other. It was all about the competition.
Mm-hmm, I see. Because like it struck me, you know, a little bit. It felt for me a little bit weird. For example, in the Titans clan, all the Titans will agree, or that Beast, for example, is the best player in the clan. Also in the Greek clan, me and Dio, or and everybody else who is not active right now would say that we think Heracles is the best of us, and we are happy that this happens, and we are happy if we play with Heracles, for example, and we feel more confident about it. And like we have played a lot of 1v1s, and even if we win or lose against each other, it's like we won. We don't care. We only set targets for the team games, which that's why I'm going to the great games. So, do you think like a reason why the Greeks won the great games was due to teamwork in 31K games?
Hmm.
Or it was like, okay, since it was more than CWB based um, tournament, the 4 games were CWB, the 2 were 31K. Do you think individually that Greeks proved that they can hold their own and even be better than HoS at that specific period of time?
Uh, Here's what I'd say about that.
Yeah.
Uh, at the time, I would say that Nidintu was the best CWB player, like 1 versus 1.
Mm-hmm.
And both matches we played against your clan, Nidintu and Dio split. Dio was playing like pretty like defensive, tanky builds, and kind of winning like sort of close games basically that way, which was good and definitely a commendable result. And the first uh, the first match we played in 31K, we got destroyed like badly because pretty much Nidintu had a little bit of experience on 31K. I think he played a tournament with Tacitus, but I had literally never played a single like high level 31K match up until that point.
Yeah, that's
And I think we
understandable.
tried some very stupid 31K armies and got mauled. The second match, I don't. I recall that we split, which was I thought that was a pretty good result, all things considered, to split 1-1 on the 31K. What actually lost the series is um, the fact that there was an extra point given to your clan because it was like a grand final after some sort of initial final. I think was the
Yeah,
was the
yeah,
the
yeah.
rule set or something.
We had an extra
And
point.
yes, so you had won 2-0 on the 31K before, and we had split all the CWB games. And in the second series, we had split everything up until me versus Heracles. And so I needed to win 2-0 to win the tournament. And I dropped the first game. It was before I had a lot of like good tournament results. I had gotten like third place or second place or something like that, but never had first place. And I guess the pressure got to me a little bit. And Heracles tried a rushy build, and I think I got like all of my pikes caught at the same time.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Uh, this is also. Do you feel that you were choking, let's say, in tournaments? For example, I remember now at the top of my head, it struck me right now. For example, in the Cup of Nations, I think you fought Tacitus twice in the final.
Just once in the final.
Just once, and it was Pontus versus Greece, right?
Yes.
And I don't know. People say you know better that it wasn't that balanced. Let's say. I mean,
Pontus is definitely better at 15-15, and it was 14-5-15. And I would definitely say that Pontus is still a bit better there.
also about Tacitus, man. For me, it's like a ghost player. I mean, he doesn't play friendly, let's say, games. He just used to come only to play on tournaments.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a little
Let me
bit
let me
weird?
let me get back to your first question real quick.
Yeah, sure.
In that match, I don't really feel like I choked that much. I just think that Tack was like better than me at the time, pretty much. That's it. But definitely in other matches, I would say like before the end of 2016, I was choking in pretty much every tournament, and I would attribute that to two things. Mainly that I like talk a lot of shit, so I put a lot of like pressure on myself to win, and I was also like kind of young and immature, and I didn't really know how to cope with that pressure that well. But once I got to winning a couple tournaments, I started to have a lot more confidence, and hasn't been a problem since then.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tak, very elusive. Ever since like 2016, or even a little bit before, he hasn't really been available to play. But he played probably many thousands of hours between like 2004 and 2015.
Was he? Uh, I don't know. I mean, I rarely seen Tacitus playing friendly games. Let's say even in 31K or CWB, but you know better. Um, Talking about immaturity and stuff, like I think, for example, when Dio was playing CWB and Con, when I wasn't playing this rule set, I remember like in many challenge brackets that you being salty towards him if he lost to Nidinto or if he lost to somebody else. How do you explain your relationship with Dio?
Um, well, I was again, as I've said, like when I was a kid, especially, I was a very like arrogant player. Um, Talked a lot of shit, and most people get along with me because I'm not like that. I'm not that bad, but some people definitely got rubbed the wrong way by the way I behave. And I would say like the two people who I remember the most strongly being like that are Dio and Maja, and they both have this sort of like kind of terse demeanor. Um, so that was really what happened. Dio was a lot better than me when we first started playing CWB, like a lot better. But I thought I was better. Um, so I would just lose a bunch of games, and I knew he was good, but like I thought I was just getting like unlucky a lot, and so that's why I got salty towards him.
Okay, but like I remember recently, like 2 months ago, before no more than that, before Eclipse 2 started, when Dio was half joking, half being serious. Since probably I don't know, I haven't asked him about that. He was telling you like, look, do you want to play together in a 2v2? And what I found more funny about it was your response, like Godzilla and King Kong never team up together. So aside if there are any hard feelings, like, do you think, first of all, would you be King Kong or Godzilla? And secondly, do you think like uh, playing with Dio, even now, I think you are in good terms right now. It's not, it doesn't suit you, like you have to be against Dio.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like to think that I'm like a bit past, just like beefing with people on the game. But yeah, I mean, I still like having competitive rivalries with people, and given like the amount of shit I've talked to Dio, and a little bit vice versa,
Yeah.
it wouldn't feel right, and I would definitely be Godzilla because Godzilla's just cooler.
So, about your predictions, also when you were younger, let's say, you were do a lot of predictions. Most of the times were false, and also you would fall into the loop that other players were doing, like forming ranks about player strength, etc. Do you think that your predictions were right? Did you made them just to, create an impact of responses, or you really thought about them, or you were just trolling? Same goes with the ranking.
Um, I would say that like when I would predict things, especially like on the Cup of Nations or whatever, I would predict them based on who I thought was best. And a lot of the predictions didn't come true simply because like the best player doesn't always win on the Cup of Nations. Um, Other tournaments, I did make some bad predictions, especially concerning myself. But I think that I saw that there was a new generation of pretty skilled players coming up, and I started to see that in a lot of ways they were surpassing some of the old guard players. And
For example?
I guess I was just like an example of old guard players, or an
Yeah,
example of
a-
new players.
an example of an old guard player getting surpassed by a younger, let's say, player.
For example, like Zeke basically started to lose a lot of series to Nadintu.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, or like Tacitus losing series to Ziz and Koala, or me beating Zeke, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But more than that, just like the way that say Nadintu plays with cavalry in terms of like timing charges and stuff like that is more advanced than like what people were doing before. And I saw that even though he maybe didn't have the same like tournament experience or stuff like that, that he would be able to beat them eventually.
You always had the same opinion about Nidintu since the start of your, let's say, gaming relationship.
Not really, actually. We we had a big beef for the same reason I had a beef with like anybody else I've had a beef with. Is
Hmm.
just like
Can you tell us more
me
about it?
saying, yeah, I used to think that Nadintu was super overrated when he was in COH, and I fell for this whole like narrative that he's like some like micro god who just doesn't actually think and just like spams button presses and shit like that, or thought he was like some sort of advanced AI or something like that. Um, but yeah, we didn't like each other, but we kept playing.
What
Um,
what changed your opinion towards him?
uh, well, he won my respect on the battlefield. I would say that's part of it, and we we ended up having some conversation where we kind of like made amends a bit, uh, and then we had a Skype call, and we just started talking quite a bit for a long time.
Hmm.
So that was it, basically.
Okay. What's your opinion about 31K and CWB? For example, which rule set, first of all, do you prefer? Which rule set do you think it's more complete, let's say? And if it's easier for a 31K player to play CWB or vice versa for a CWB player to play 31K?
Good questions. I would say I slightly prefer CWB. I really like both of them. Right now, I definitely am a lot more interested in 31K because there's not
Just to
that
interrupt you,
much competition.
one moment to interrupt you. I remember you
Sorry.
saying that 31K is a fucking bullshit rule set. Okay, you can go on.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No, I
stop.
mean, I definitely said a lot of fucking retarded things. It's like the same thing that a lot of 31K players say about CWB, where it's like it's all micro, like no tactics involved, blah blah blah. I had the same view about 31K before I started playing it a lot, which was that it was just like some like basically just two blobs bulldozing into each other or whatever. Um, so
You slightly prefer CWB. Okay, that's normal, I mean.
yeah, it's because generally I prefer 1v1 over team games, and uh, I also it's kind of nostalgic for me, basically.
Yeah, I understand that. So, which rule set do you think requires more skills?
Oh man, I'm gonna definitely cop out of this one. I think both take tremendous skill. Say, um, I would say like to be a top CWB 1v1 player is definitely harder than to be a top like 31K 1v1 player. Like I learned how I was beating some of the best 31K 1v1 players in like under a year.
True, but 31K is not that much of a 1v1 rule set. It's more about
Yes.
team games.
Yes,
So,
the team games for 31K are way more interesting and way more developed than the CWB games. Uh, both take a ton of skill, a ton of like tactical knowledge, and the full package of skills, I guess.
So, do you think it's easier for a CWB player to play in a good level, to perform good in a 31k battlefield, or a good 31k player to be decent in CWB?
I'm gonna surprise you with this one. I think it's better. I think it's easier for a good 31k player to play CWB, because in 31k you have to develop like a very good understanding of the mechanics and how the units collide and things like that. Whereas there's a lot of like pretty decent CWB players who I wouldn't consider to be like that knowledgeable about the game or anything. They're just kind of like instinctual more than they are strategic, I guess. I definitely think it's possible for a very high level CWB player to come over and be very high level in 31k. It's just,
Yeah, true.
I would say the average good 31k player is just a level above in terms of like game knowledge.
Okay, so we have a new tournament right now, Eclipse 3. Do you feel comfortable you're going to win this one?
Yeah, you know, I think we can win it. I don't know, maybe not comfortable. I think we've got a good shot. I think we're a very good team.
So far in
I would have.
Eclipse, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think there's some good opposition. I would have wanted to see a freaking Greek team in this tournament because we've got more games to play. But
True.
I yeah, I feel good about this one.
Do you think, you also participated in Eclipse 1 and 2 and you reached, actually, you reached the final in the second one, in the first one, the semi-final, but it was like the final, if you ask me.
Yes.
So I was about to say you reached two finals, but I just remembered it was a semi-final. So about the first Eclipse, do you think you could have won? You also felt comfortable, and we had like a beef, let's say, about why the fuck should we play in this tournament, because Paglia made us play the Mexicans, and it felt like cancer. To be honest, they had 20 archers each game, which is, I mean, it's easy to win it, but it takes a lot of time. And we said, I remember saying to you, you guys, we can play as many 2v2s as you want. Why we have to be in the framework of the tournament? But maybe, I don't know. I'm going to ask that right now. You said that we are afraid that we are going to lose. You just said those things to make us, tickle our ego, so let's say, fuck it, let's play? Or you thought you were better at that point, so you could have beat us?
I definitely thought we were better, but I would say I said you guys were running away just so you would play the tournament, basically.
Yeah,
That
okay.
there was no like, I didn't think you guys were like actually afraid of us or anything.
About the result, though, did you feel hard done? I mean, I did. We did our best, and we lost. Fuck, or we gonna get them sooner or later.
Yeah, definitely. As soon as we lost, my feeling was like, let's get a rematch. That's how I feel like whenever I lose. But I definitely felt we did our best. We always try our best.
Yeah.
I don't have any excuses. Like, there were things I didn't like about the series, but they didn't really have a big impact on the outcome. Like, I didn't like the fact that we played the same fucking matchup
Yeah, true.
5 times in a row,
Yeah.
and I didn't like the fact that we had to play with the side that ended up losing all 5 games 3 times. But I don't know if we could have won. We talked over many different strategies that we could have gone with, and I would have liked to have tried them all, but we only had so many games. And I mean, we spent a large number of hours like discussing this because we knew we hadn't had a lot of like actual games together on 31K. In fact, we really, even up till the tournament, most of our preparation was just in Skype talking, and not actually playing any games together. But um, yeah, I felt you guys probably knew a lot more about pikes than I did, especially at that time. Like I remember in games like two, I want to say 2 and 4, like I was just using these really like thin lines of Royal Pikemen, and they were just getting like pushed through into Studio. It was really fucking amateurish by me, but what are you gonna do? You guys definitely played well and deserved it and all that.
About Eclipse 2, your ally was Hamilcar at that point, right?
Yes.
I really like
Yeah.
Hamilcar, man. For me, I told you before, he's so adaptive in the rule set, and he hasn't played too much Rome Total War, and he's one of the best right now. I mean, we're not much, we are not many, but if you put him in the entire 31K community, I mean, he's top 20% or 15, I don't know. So, about the second Eclipse, you reached the final and you lost to Spark and Mo, right?
Yeah. Yep. Another 2-3 result.
Yeah. So, that means that close games. I remember spectating the four of them. But I like the way you played, to be honest. Did you like was it a part of your strategy we're going to use skirmish builds because they are not that used in CWB or skirmishing armies, or you gonna do uh, those builds no matter what factions they had?
So basically, after we lost the first game, we planned out how all the factions would be chosen in the rules,
Yeah.
and we determined we just didn't like how it would end up if we chose like the most orthodox possible factions. Like we thought we would have disadvantage in more games, so we decided to start taking factions in an unusual order, so that we would have a chance to win 3 of the games.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was really why we started skirmishing. It was really more out of like necessity. We had success with it
Yeah,
in
you were
game 2.
successful. I
Yes.
I even remember you having Egypt and winning at the end,
Yes.
which is
Yeah.
kind of in a 2v2 is for me it's quite an achievement, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a good game, and I felt proud of it. And then game 3 was a complete fucking disaster because we just miscommunicated. I know that Mo was saying like, "Oh, you can't win with only 6 heavy cav against 12 with all those archers." I don't agree with that at all. I think we totally could have won the game. It just uh, we didn't practice it with that strategy, and we just miscommunicated and got obliterated. So that was bad. And then game 4, we won pretty decisively, and game 5, I we took a bit of an ill-advised composition in game 5, and um, sorry, I'm getting called. Basically, just lost due to having fewer infantry.
Hmm. So if you could pick your best ally in a 2v2 competitive game, who would be?
Um, I would say Nadintu.
Okay.
That's
And
yeah.
your list, like the player that you don't want to team up with in a competitive 2v2 game, and I'm excluding You know,
Like not like Cornovia or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I'm excluding those kind of players.
Okay. All right. So of all the like good players,
Yeah.
let me think about that. That's interesting. Fuck. Huh. Hmm.
Basically, you have to think about the Game Ranger community.
Yeah. I honestly can't think of somebody I don't like to team with.
N-
Um.
Not don't like you don't fit
Oh,
well
Turk.
with.
Definitely Turk.
No, no, no,
Can we
no,
say Turk?
no, no, man.
He's too bad.
That's what Hamilcar told me also in the no. Turk is terrible. You have to pick another.
Okay. 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 Um. All right. Who are the Titans besides? Uh.
It's Paglia, Demon, Sparky, Mo, Beast.
I've never teamed with Beast, so I can't really say, except for like once, and it was terrible. So I'll say I hate teaming with Beast because the one game we played in 2016 or whatever we lost. So
So I will give you individual factions, and you can tell me 31k wise who player commands them best, uh, both in 1v1s and team games. Like which player
sure.
has, you know. So what about Rome?
For 1v1 it would be Nadintu.
No, no.
Um.
For I
Oh,
don't.
overall,
Yeah, overall.
uh, shit. I would say it's close between me and Muhammad and Nadintu
You have to pick one
because it's.
though.
Hmm. I'll go with I'll give Muhammad this one.
Okay. What about Seleucids?
Shit. I think Bubo would probably like kill me if I didn't say Bubo. All right, we'll go with Bubo.
Okay. Pontus?
I think you would probably be mad at me if I didn't say it was you, so I'm gonna go with you.
No, 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 man. You have to be objective. Doesn't
I
matter.
mean,
This
I
is your
don't know
interview.
of like any like notorious Pontus players other than you, so I'll give you that.
Macedon?
Macedon. Ooh, interesting. Shit. Um, I don't even know who's good with Macedon. I feel like there's a lot of people. There's Bubo. There's who plays Macedon more between you and Dio?
It's kind of 50-50. I think I play more because he uses Spartans more than I do.
It could be you. Um, yeah. Yeah. I'll go with you.
Mm-hmm. Carthage?
Carthage. Carthage. Fuck. Maybe Mo. Yeah. Maybe Mo.
And Greek city states?
Greece. Uh, Bubo's pretty good. Dio's pretty good. Mo's pretty good. You're pretty good. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of good Greek players.
Okay, so if there was. Did you like the format of Eclipse 3 right now? Let's say you have. Paglia told me that you have contributed to the rules, which are pretty neat, I'm going to say. But have you considering making a tournament or trying to make a Cup of Nations for 31k? Do you think that's doable?
If I were to make a 1 versus 1 tournament for 31k, I definitely would not make it the Cup of Nations. The Cup of Nations is an abomination that I would wipe off the face of the planet in CWB. So no, the world does not need 31k con, but a 1 versus 1 31k tournament is definitely in order.
Mm, no, I mean about money adjusting, like making some unfair matchups a little more fair. But of course, if like if there is a format of Cup of Nations for 31k, it would be only for 7 factions, not of course every faction. Like you can play 31k with Gaul or Numidia.
Uh, I don't know. I think it would just be trash, to be honest. It took years to balance the table for the Cup of Nations.
Yeah, I agree
I
with
think it
you.
would take a long time to do it for 31K. I think there's plenty enough good 31K matchups that you don't need to do them.
Okay. Um, what else should I ask? Okay, can you throw us an opinion about Earth, Zeke, and Scent?
Okay. Earth. He's been responsible for some innovations. I'll give him that. He's got some wild opinions about pretty much everything, especially his own skills. Um, he's an eccentric guy. That's what I'll say. Zeke is a quiet autist, but he's a lovable guy. He's a family man and all that shit. So, good guy. Very innovative, elite CWV player. Probably like the first really like great CWV player.
Mhm.
And then Saint. I never really liked Saint. Saint can kind of get on
Because
my nerves.
because of
It's
his
just a
attitude.
yeah. It's just a subtle thing. Like I just find him annoying, to be honest. Like it's not even really anything about him. I think I got on his nerves as well. So whatever.
Okay. Do you have?
Oh, but amazing player. Like probably one of the like top 3 CWB players ever.
Mhm. Anything else that you want to add? Like, this is your interview. Something that you want to talk about?
Oh my gosh.
Like, add something.
No, I would just say anyone in the Total War community who wants to talk tactics or anything even, just reach out. So that's what I would say.
Okay, so I wish you the best of luck in Eclipse 3. I hope we play again against each other. Every time we play, it's very nice, very competitive games. So, yeah, that's about it. Hope to see you soon on Grassy Flatlands.
You too, man.
And thank you very
And
much for the interview.
yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, I wish you good luck as well, unless of course you play our team, and then I hope you get very unlucky. All right,
Okay, man. Thank you.
take care.
Bye.